Shout out to Love Games for actually sending this story to me through my Instagram. They actually tagged me in the post. Now, of course, we all know this is Monique and Okra wig free. And Harvey has done a lot of videos talking about Monique, pretty much defending her over the course of the last year when a lot of people was coming at Monique's neck, basically for what she's been saying. And she called it out and had every right to. But none other than what she just recently did on her Instagram page, in which I'm going to read to you. So if you don't know, Monique wrote an open letter to Okra, and she actually tagged her in it. See, one thing about Monique is she's not going to bite her tongue about anything. And she's not going to hashtag Oprah or just put her name there. She wants her to see this. And this picture you see right here is the picture that's on her Instagram page. I'm not on her Instagram page now, but on Google, this is the same exact image. So what I'm going to do for you is read this letter. It's pretty lengthy, but I want you to hear everything that she had to say to the Mammy Supreme. Dear Okra, I felt compelled to write you this open letter after observing the disparity in the way that you seem to treat people who were accused of the same allegations. You did an interview on CBS Morning Show and were asked about Harvey Weinstein by Nora O'Donnell, and you said it as it pertained to him that you always try to look at the rainbow in the clouds, whatever is the silver lining. You also said if we make this all about Harvey Weinstein, then we have lost the moment. When you either are or we're going to be a part of a documentary on Michael Jackson and Russell Simmons, how is that not about making it all about them? Interestingly, brother Michael Jackson was acquitted and deceased, so how is he not off limits? Russell and Harvey are accused of the same thing, so in fairness, how do you not, quote unquote, support the accusers of both, as you said you did with Russell Simmons, or you look for the silver lining for both, like you said you did for Harvey Weinstein? The only difference between the two was their skin color, and doesn't Harvey Weinstein have way more accusers? My personal experience with you is you've watched me as a black woman be accused of being difficult for not promoting Precious internationally for Lionsgate at Lionsgate, Tyler Perry, and your request, despite the fact my deal was with Lee Daniels Entertainment. And how are you for black women when you hear Tyler on audio saying I was right and he was going to speak up, but you or him still haven't said a word? When I was 16, I met you at your local show in Baltimore. I told you I wanted to be just like you when I grew up. You responded, you have to work really, really hard. My 16-year-old self didn't know that you and your silence in the face of wrongdoings would make my life, quote unquote, harder. Lastly, please consider standing by the people who are right and not just the, quote unquote, right people. Love you to life, Monique. I can honestly say I don't see anything wrong with what she said. And I'm glad that people are finally on the heels of the Mammy Supreme, because for years she has been able to skate on by unscathed for a lot of the BS she has put out there through her talk show, mainly, especially when it comes to black men. And she just never stopped. As a matter of fact, Okra was one of the pioneers of leading the charge on a mainstream scale of this whole niggas ain't shit campaign. She, like I said in my previous videos about her, she just never came out and said niggas ain't shit. She was just more classy about it. And what that did was not only did it open up the floodgates for other black women to latch on to that trope, but now you even have, in some cases, have heard women of other races use that niggas ain't shit more on a subliminal scale. It's transcended because Okra was supposed to be the big voice for all women in her essence. Remember, her talk show was on for 25 years before it got canceled back in like the mid 2000s. Before she started to work on her own network that is not even owned by her. It's owned mainly by Discovery. At this point, she's more like a chairman at her own quote unquote network. But I'm glad that Monique wrote that open letter to her. And I'm glad she tagged her in it. And I hope she sees it, because it's high time that Okra, the Mammy Supreme wig free, be brought down a peg or two. Because she's been sitting on that high horse forever. But see, the thing is, we're not going to be the ones that's going to have to bring her down. We can talk about her all day, and we will continue to do so because we're calling out her BS. But it's going to be up to the powers that be and her handlers to actually really on a physical way bring her down that peg or two, because they are her handlers. They are the ones at the end of the day that are funding her lifestyle. Even though her main target audience at one point was black people, mainly black women. But now that she sees no use for them anymore, she's tossed them to the wayside. But she still finds a use for black men when she wants to throw them under the bus, like pretty much everybody else in this establishment known as the United States of America. So as long as, and it's crazy because they say black men don't serve, or like sometimes they'll say black men don't serve a purpose. They serve a purpose, all right, or we serve a purpose, all right, when we have to be the individuals that have to be thrown under the bus to give cover to whatever else is going on with somebody else, like what you mentioned here with Russell Simmons and Harvey Weinstein. But I just wanted to read that letter to y'all just in case y'all did not hear it, because some of you may not have Instagram and this is where it's actually located. I'm sure there are probably articles that have gone out about it by the time this video gets uploaded, and you may have seen it already. But y'all let me know what y'all think about the letter down in the comments below. Do you think that there was anything else that she could have added in there, or do you think everything was said that was pretty much spot on? And make sure to follow me on Twitter if you haven't done so already. Have your notifications turned on, and I will talk to you in the next one.